Welcome to another episode of Creating Magic. I'm Dani.
And I'm Paula.
And today we have some lovely friends with us to recap Leakycon Chicago 2023. So we have Nat and Anna with us.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Why don't you each introduce yourself, your socials, and your house?
And your pronouns.
And your pronouns.
I can start. So I am Anna, and I am on Instagram as @Latina Hufflepuff. And if you can't tell, I'm a puff. As puff as you can get.
All right. Well, I'm Nat. I'm on Instagram @Natalia's Charms with 2 T's in the middle. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a Ravenclaw.
Ooh. I just realized it's 2 puffs and 2 Ravenclaws.
Look at us.
Balance. It's all about balance.
I don't know about balance, but
We don't have a lot of balance usually, but today we do. I accept it. So it was Paula. How many Leakycons have you been to?
3, but 2 of them were last year. So
And I have been to, this would have been my 5th.
Wow.
nice. You're like an expert.
Well, I started in Dallas because it was drivable for me. And I was driving to my friend Erin's house when I found out it was the same weekend. I was like, oh, I'll just stop for a day and a half and then continue on because there was like an 8-hour drive to get to her. And then I did Boston, then Orlando and Denver the same year, and now Chicago.
Nice.
And so Anna and Nat, this is your first year at Leakycon?
Yeah.
Why did you want to attend Leakycon?
Well,
Did Paula peer pressure you into attending?
Partly,
It's enough.
of course.
Kind of.
I won't say this trip went without some enabling from the Pottergram community, but honestly, the main thing that brought me to Leaky was just wanting to be able to see everybody in person that I've been friends with this whole time, on the Pottergram. So mission accomplished, I guess.
I remember last year's Leaky at both Denver and Orlando. I had severe FOMO watching everyone's posts and pictures and meeting everyone and being cast in Paula's reels. And I had severe FOMO. So I was like, I literally put it on my bucket list, LeakyCon. And then when they announced it was Chicago, I'm like, I have to go. Like, I'm 20 minutes from McCormick. I had to go. Like, I took it as a sign. So I think I bought my ticket before I even was like, am I going to stay there? Who am I going to go with? Like, what was happening? But I bought my ticket, I think, within the week that they went on sale. And then I kind of forgot about it because they got sold so far in advance until the reminder started coming in. And then everyone was like, who's going to Leaky? So it kind of seemed like it was the time to go because everything was lining up in my mind. My wallet wasn't agreeing, but it was fine.
That tracks. That's usually the case, I think.
Yeah. And we had a lot of the Pottergram show up.
A lot. I did not think. Well, like I ran into Gwen, Glow's favorite things. I didn't think she was going to be there. So when I saw her, I was like, "Oh my god!" But like,
and I didn't realize. To me, like it's a whole community. Like everyone knows everyone. But then I realized like there's still these little pockets. Like I knew Lou and Gwen were coming in because I was coordinating with Gwen for us to go to dinner Wednesday when she got in. And then I didn't realize like, oh wait, she's not like in the Leaky baseball chat. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna do Magic at Play instead. And they explored Chicago, and I was like, my little pockets are like coming together, and it made me so happy.
Yeah. Well, and we did so many things surrounding LeakyCon that wasn't just Leaky. So there were like a group chat for every event we were trying to coordinate.
The baseball chat is fire, okay? That's where it's at.
It's nonstop. Like
It is really not.
I have to silence my notifications periodically to make sure that I'm a productive human being. And then when I come back to check on it, I'm like, I have all of these messages to catch up on.
The pin chat. I'm also in one of the pin chats, and it gets that way too.
I muted the pin chat, but I love the people in the pin chat, but it's muted.
There's a lot of people in there now. It started as like 12 of us last year in Orlando, and by the time we got to Chicago, there were like 44 people in this group chat.
It's a lot.
Yeah. The group chat is muted on mine, but even with then, I will like be waiting.
Still like peeking.
I know. I'll be like, my case isn't called in. Let me just like hop in.
No, I know Paula has our book chat muted.
I do have. I go in there every once in a while.
I tagged you today because we were sharing pets today, and they're like, "Oh, no one has any like weird different pets." I'm like, Paula, where are you? We need Rocky photos.
I'll go back and I'll post. I do have.
It was pet.
That's a weird pet.
Group chat.
A weird pet.
What kind of pet is Rocky?
The bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon?
A bearded dragon, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and I have a guinea pig too.
It's not like weird. It's just like non-traditional because everyone had like cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs.
And they were just like, one of the girls was like, I'm just surprised that someone doesn't have like a raccoon or something random. I'm like, Paula.
I would love a raccoon. By the way, this is how the chat gets off topic right here. We went from Leakycon to baseball to chats to weird pets.
Well, we all flew in, so let's let people know how baseball correlates to Leakycon. We planned a lot of things around just the convention. So a lot of us flew in. A group went to Magic at Play, which was in Chicago. It leaves in like a week from, I guess by the time this releases, it'll be there for like 4 more days.
Yeah, and then September 4th.
Yeah, so this will release on August 31st. So a bunch of us were like, this is our time. We got to go. So we ran amok, created chaos, made some reels at Magic at Play. And then half those people went to a Cubs game and the other half went to a pin meetup.
And then we had people meet us at the baseball game that were not at Magic at Play.
Like me.
Like Anna.
Because I had to work.
Yeah. And Ashley and Ellie. Like Ellie got in, changed, and left to the baseball game. Ellie basically got in like, I don't know, like an hour before she left the hotel or something like that.
Yeah, I remember she had a quick like, am I going to make it? We're like, yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's
my group from Magic at Play, even though we were messing around, we still got there on time. Just saying.
Very proud of that. And you filmed a reel before leaving.
And we filmed several reels, not just one.
I had to run around a maze because of Paula. We now just
run a short distance
cardio.
It came out so cute though.
It did. It really did. So before Leakycon, what were you guys kind of like expecting?
I have actually thought about this because I had talked to Tom before Leakycon about honestly like fears going in because of last year I had severe FOMO with like everyone meeting up and getting to see each other and hang out and everything. And I literally would talk to Tom and be like, what if like it's different, like in person and people don't like me and I'm just going to be like the wallflower in the background. And yeah. So this recording for the listeners, Paula just made a face of like, no, which is what Tom's told me. The same. And so I showed up with Ashley, who's at Magical Ashley. Like we showed up together to the Cubs game and we stayed together for Leakycon. And it helped me have her because I'm like, okay, I have one person with me, like no matter what. Yeah. And the handful of times that we separated, I don't know if you guys know, she just lost things every time she left my side. So we're like, we can't separate anymore. But then when I like started seeing everyone and like talking to everyone, I was like, okay, like these really are friends. Like, no, like I told Tom, like, you guys seemed like the cool kids to me because you had hung out at Leakycons before. You were always like talking and on live chats. And I'm like, I like the cool kids. And then Tom's like, you are one of the cool kids. And I actually had a moment where someone, and I forgot who it was, where someone came up to me and they're like, oh my God, you're at Latina Hufflepuff. And I'm like, oh my God, someone knows who I am, even though I had no idea who they were. But they were like, they knew who I was. And I was like, oh, I feel special. Like, it was definitely went in with some fears, but probably within like an hour, I'm like, they were not at all valid fears. Like, obviously, like over the years, like I'd grown closer to some people than others, but everyone was very nice. And then after Leaky, I've grown close to everyone. Like, that's why our chat has to be muted because everyone's talking all the time, which I love. Makes me unproductive, but I absolutely love it.
So Tom had the same fears last year.
Mm-hmm. That's why, like, I think he's the one I talked to about the most because I know he had those last year.
Yeah, I had never interacted with him until I met him at Orlando. And we actually ended up like just walking, just him and I was like, I have never even met you. We're just like acting like we've known each other for years. By the way, since we have mentioned him, you can follow him at Tom Not Felton.
Felton, yeah.
And we are cheering because
shout out in so long.
Yeah. And we're shouting out that Instagram because it is him on that account. It's not his Hero of Hogwarts account, which is his other account where he was shouting out
everyone else.
Yeah. At not Tom Not Felton. Yeah. Is him. It's just him. Unfiltered him, which I think we all love and are so proud of him for doing it.
Yes.
The best version of him.
It's the true version of him. Yeah.
You know what he told me? He sent me a message before because I posted that reel of me, him, and Madi. And he's like, I always mess up the reels. And I was like, if you messed up the reel, I wouldn't have posted it.
He was so proud of being cast in one of your reels, Paula.
I know. And I told him, I said, I have so many more. You just don't even know.
Well, it was just really funny because beforehand, he's like, I can't do this. We're like, it's just going to be like one word. Don't worry. We'll give you a script. Like the whole time we're like, Paula will have a script. She'll tell you where to stand. Don't worry. What about
how about you, Natalie?
Well, so my fears going into Leaky or my expectations beforehand, I can't remember.
Or like what you were thinking about, like going into it.
Well, I mean, I would definitely say along the same lines of some of the things that Anna mentioned and that we just brought up that Tom mentioned. I mean, you've met me, so you probably know, but I am socially awkward and I have like serious social anxiety. So even if it doesn't come off that way, I think maybe I mask it with my chattiness sometimes, so you don't know. But one of the things that I was worried about is meeting everyone in person for the first time because we have our accounts online, we interact with each other, we support each other, but it's still through a screen. It's still not in the flesh, and everything changes when you see people for the real first time in person. And so I was worried that I just might not gel with everybody as well as I imagined that I would, but that was not even the case. Once I got there, it was really obvious to me that I was at home and I was with my people, you know? So those fears kind of washed away really quickly. I think that my expectations were met for the most part with Leakycon, of just getting to meet everyone and spend time with them and just kind of get into mischief with everybody, right? But one of the things that I wish was a little bit different going in is I wish I got to stay in the same main hotel that everyone was in, because there are so many interactions that you get to have when you're staying in the same building as everybody else that are not part of the actual convention. It's just, hey, I'm down in the lobby grabbing breakfast, and now you're getting to make those real life connections. We were still attached to the convention center, but we were staying at the second hotel that they listed after the first one had sold out. I mean, it worked out. Everything happens for a reason, because I love taking my dogs with me everywhere I go. And the Hyatt was not pet friendly, aside from service dogs. But where we stood, they accommodated not just 2 dogs like most hotels, but they accommodated all 3 of our pups. So that was nice. That gave me peace of mind. And they got to inadvertently be part of Leakycon.
Kind of going off of that, my expectations were both met and not, because the only conventions I had been to are C2E2, which is the Chicago's big convention. And so in my mind, that's what I expected Leakycon to be. And it was nowhere near that level. But I had the best time ever at Leakycon. And I think because, like Nat said, it was the people that is what made it awesome. Like C2E2 is very much go do the panels, do your shopping, and there's really not that many mixers or interactions. And Leakycon was, I'd skip panels to hang out with friends. Like, it was the people.
I think I went to
yours.
Panels.
Those are the ones I went to.
I went to
yours.
In 3. I went to
I was
one
like, you
that
were
Trey
on
was in.
2. So
Yeah, no, not counting mine. Like, I went to the LGBTQ, the Gates of Universal one. I went to the Elijah Wood and Sean Astin one, which I thought was hysterical, even though I have no idea what they were talking about, but it was so funny. And one that Trey did on Sunday.
you did the game with Trey.
I did do the game, yeah. So, which I was like, I probably shouldn't have done this because he knows me for real, but it doesn't matter. They were like, you have to lie. They were trying to get me to lie and say that I received a Christmas card from Emma Watson. And I was like, that's not going to fly.
You'd be like, that's a great lie if Trey wasn't on the panel.
Exactly.
And then I, being from Chicago, wasn't honestly sure if I wanted to spend the money and stay at the Hyatt, because I'm literally 20 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
But then, like Nat said, there's the moments between the days or after hours that I'm like, I'm going to have severe FOMO, which is why I was like, okay. And why I shared the room with Ashes, because I'm like, I have to be there. I'm going to have severe FOMO. And it was totally worth it.
Yeah, I have done both. And I've realized that staying on site is so beneficial when it comes to like meeting up with people and like having random moments. Like when y'all were still at the game, we were down at the bar restaurant. So we were catching all the people with the late night flights. So like Trey came, Ed from Orchard Works was there. So we just had like this revolving door of people that were just coming through the bar while we were there. But also as an introvert, I like being able to just go back to my room if I need to. And that's hide a little, because sometimes you just have to check out for a minute. I actually didn't do that as much this time.
Can't relate.
I do hide in Orchard Works booth all the time. Ed has offered that up as a safe space. So if like, you're ever walking by there, look at the floor. I'm probably sitting there. Did you guys attend any panels?
Yeah. We attended the Pottergram meetup, of course. We attended Bienvenidos a la Magia, which made me so happy. And we checked out the spotlight on Sean Astin and I can't speak, and Elijah Wood. That was really cool. It was their chemistry is hilarious. And what made me really happy about this Leaky is that there was more than just Harry Potter, more than just Wizarding World included. because as you guys know, like Jose was with me as well, my husband. His handle is Hyrulean Hufflepuff. He's a huge Zelda fan. If you guys want to go check him out, um, he is definitely into Lord of the Rings. I am too, but him more than I. So for him to get to be there and see that spotlight was really cool.
It was,
and of course, the Tom Felton concert. Oh, my heart.
It was so good. And like we've referenced the Sean Astin, Elijah Wood panel multiple times.
Oh my God.
So Leakycon took place during, and which is still ongoing, the SAG-AFTRA strikes. So they were not allowed to talk about the things that they have previously been in or any of the works because of the strike. So there was a lot of like questions you don't get at the normal convention and like talking around subjects, and it was just hysterical. And I actually did an autograph session with Elijah Wood after that, and we were talking about it. He's like, I had so much fun. He's just like, I need to do this every time we have these things.
But you can tell that they were having just as much fun as the attendees, and that made me really
They may
happy.
have been having more fun than us.
Oh, for sure.
And for me, like, I've never seen Lord of the Rings, and I was very entertained because I was like, this is hysterical. Like, they're having like these conversations, and I have no idea what they're talking about, but I know that they're like talking around stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's just, we were on that at
vacation.
That resort,
the long vacation,
the desolate
that
mountain.
decade vacation.
Yeah. So I was like, this is funny.
And Chris Rankin was phenomenal as a host.
Yeah, he always is. I feel like he should be like
the master of ceremonies.
Absolutely, he's amazing.
Has he been the host each year?
Not a host, but he's always there, and he's always done things on stage. He hasn't led too many interviews that I can remember, or I just missed them. But like that interview specifically, he just led it so well, especially coming from a place where he's UK, so he's not part of SAG-AFTRA. Mm-hmm. So he was working with like a situation where he didn't know much about it because it doesn't affect the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I did Confidence in Cosplay. I did that panel. And then I made it to opening ceremonies. And I did, obviously, the Pottergram meetup. I also did the Lord of the Rings one. I did your guys' panel, the podcast panel. And I took so many pictures, which I masked up to Dani.
So many.
I know. I was like, those are my friends. I know cool people doing panels. I did the spotlight on Tom Felton. I did his concert. And
I did do that too. I did the concert. Yeah.
I did the karaoke cosplay the first day. And I also did the cosplay costume the last day. I think that was the last thing I went to. Yeah, I think that's all of it. Oh, I guess I did more than I thought.
I wish I had gotten to see the karaoke cosplay. And I didn't get to make it to that, but I saw some of the replay footage from it, and I'm like, oh man, this is right up my alley. I so wish I would have gone.
There's so many things going on at the same time that it's hard to like catch everything. And then like for me, a lot of the stuff I missed is not because I wanted to miss it. It's because I was talking with somebody, or ran into somebody, or we sat in a group and talked about
I think it was like Friday night, because our panels opened and closed Friday. And like, we looked at each other and we're like, I haven't seen you all day. And we're like, what have we been doing? We had no idea. I'm like, I can't track my time. I know I did stuff the whole weekend. I was very busy, but I don't remember what I did.
I went fun. I did have fun. I didn't really like shop the market. I went to the marketplace and I bought a book and I bought a few pins, but then I was so sad because I went to Nimbus Designs booth and her dad was there. So I just said, hey, I'm Paula. He doesn't know who the hell I am. But I was like, oh, I wanted to like, but I wanted to shop from her, like, but I never got back to go shop from her. So anyway,
I had a problem with the marketplace because I shopped all 3 days.
I know you did.
So that's one of the panels I forgot. I did the pin trading panel, which was the first time I really delved into it. And
Thank God you didn't, they.
Yeah, I got so hooked, and I got some super cool pins. So as the one that was in the pin scene during Leakycon, the Laser Brain Patch, Weekend Tweak, Sunset Roadco, and Witherwares were doing a collab. Wither Wings Wears. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
They were doing a collab for limited edition Leakycon nifflers that were the different houses, the different stores, and they handed out one mystery blind bag at the pin trading, and they were so cute. And I was like, I need to get them all. So I got to know Christina of Laser Brain Patch very, very well over the weekend because I probably stopped there 3 times every day. Saturday was the worst because I stopped probably like 5 or 6 times. And I kind of bought all their blind bags of the random fandom.
Did you get the purple one?
I did, but I traded it to get Ashley the Lumos one. Because she wanted the Lumos one. I traded Mari for it. That's who I traded. And so
Mari's a completionist, so
yeah. Because there was a Lord of the Rings one that she was missing that I also had, and I actually don't know if she got it. So I was very much in the pin scene, and I didn't buy a lot of things like size-wise, but I bought a lot of little things because I bought all the blind bags from Laser Brain Patch. And there was at one point that I would just go with like myself and then Ash. And then I think I went with Elliot and Brittany. Elliot and Carla, I mean. And then I went with Delaney, like all these new friends I had made. And I think it's Christina's husband that was at the stand with her, that he called me out. He's like, you come with different people every time. You think we don't notice. And I was just like, and that time I went with Glo and Lou. I went with Gwen and Lou. And they're like, how many times have you been here? I'm like, a few. But he like called me out with like, I kept going back with different people. And so I have.
You're like, maybe if I bring different people, they won't know it's me.
Yeah, no, I got called out. And everyone was just laughing. I'm like, yeah, like no shame. And then
how about? Oh God!
I did the pop shop that Laser Brain did because I wanted more Niffler ones. And then the last 2 rounds went on sale from Sunset Roadco and Oddman and Tweak today, but because of work, I didn't get to them. But I did do the Laser Brain one, but I didn't get one.
Yeah,
but
Amy had a few on her Big Fat Live earlier this
yeah. So I very much, and I also very much enabled Paula because me and Ash bought so many pins.
I know they kept buying. They would come and they'd be like, "Where got you?"
Kayleen bought so many pins.
And during this last pop shop, I might have bought one more. I don't know if you can. Hold on. Let me take the background off. No, it's from Laser Brain. I bought it at the pop-up live shop. See if you can see it.
Oh yeah, it's your Salem one.
Salem one.
Ooh, I love that.
So this will be going your way, Paula.
See, I walked past so many of. I mean, I went to both of the marketplaces that were at Leaky.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't buy anything from the Leaky marketplace. I did buy things in Chicago to take back with me to like commemorate my visit, and I bought stuff at Magic at Play. Like I got the exclusive wand. But I know that if I start buying pins, it's going to be down the rabbit hole with me. So I am actively avoiding it. I do
As
have
someone who does not collect pins.
We just gift them to her, Dani.
Yeah,
it's not me. I am so guilty. I bought her Barbie ones. I bought her Pedro Pascal. I bought her. Who else did I buy you? Neville.
You bought me Neville. I'm like, what is happening here?
Every time I saw her, I handed her at least one more pin.
I was like, girl, what are you doing?
I have been very strong with not getting pins, but then Stina started doing literary pins. Yeah, not a pin collector, Paula. Hey, Paula, can you hold that up one more moment?
Hold on.
It's heavy.
That's right. Document it.
You know where that's going.
I know, right on the ground.
But Stina started doing literary ones, so I have her Akatar shaker pin one that has like the glitter in it. I had it on my desk, but I cleaned my desk because I lost one of my other pins earlier. And then I got some of the Lord of the Rings phrases. Nikki from Sunset had the green dragon egg that matched my cosplay, so I had to get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't do any oddment and tweak this time, but I did get things from them at Lit Inc. in March. They had lightsaber hilts.
That's cute.
I bought a Remember from them.
I bought a Christmas countdown pin from them. I literally have them like categorized by like shops.
I can't wait to harass you in pop shops. That's what I do in all the pin chats.
Shut up. Listen, I went in the other day to get that Salem pin. And I was like, hey, and everybody's like, hey, Paula. And then I see Anna, hey, Paula. I was like, oh, hey, what are you doing here?
Me and Marty. And then they showed the pin, and Paula's like, you made some comment about not coming in for that pin. I was like, oh, good, because I already got it for you.
Yeah. I was like, I wasn't coming for that. I wasn't coming for that pin. And she was like, good, because I already got it for you. I was like, well, I guess I can leave now.
So, Nat, what did you start collecting after Leakycon?
After Leakycon?
Or because of?
I mean, I did not start collecting pins, I'll tell you that. I have a small little pin board with various pins on it, but I wouldn't call myself a collector by any means.
Dang, you can have a pin board and not be a pin collector.
No, but
yours is not a pin board that big.
Paula, I don't have a pin board like yours. That's a pin monument.
How dare you?
You know who's at a trading event for pins this weekend in Orlando?
Who?
Amy with her wing squares. It's a Disney pin event this weekend.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, see, I took my pins to Leakycon because I went through the pin and I just bought all the pins. And then I'm like, I sold some of them on Macari, and I was like, let me take these and I'll just either give them away or trade them for something I really want. And the first day, I kind of just wore them, and Ashley was pretty much pimping me out for pins she wanted. She'd be like, I really like this one. Do you want any of hers? And she would just point at my lanyard, and they'd be like, I want this. So I pretty much got pimped out for pins. And when I told my boyfriend, he's like, what? I was like, yeah, Ashley sold me for her to get pins. She's like, and he was just so confused. And I was like, and then I explained it to him because I felt so bad because he had this like, what the hell phase that his girlfriend got pimped out. And then I explained it. He's like, you should work on your wording. I'm like, no, that was intentional.
Yeah. We're like, no, that fits.
You should have been like, I'm a lawyer. I know my words. Relax.
I'm fine. Yeah. Because I and Ashley and I were laughing about this because I went in with the intention of getting rid of my pins, not with coming home with like 3 times what I came out in with. And also, I had the best luck with these blind bags because I got super cool ones of like these see-through, one of the see-through wing keys from Laser Brain and Patch. I pretty much got the entire Lord of the Rings sayings phrase. And I got all these teacup scenes, and I got a huge like Marauders pin. Like I just had such good luck with pins that Ashley was so mad. because she got like little ones and I had like a 3-inch circular one that I got in a blind bag. And she's just like, how? So
That would be
I think
me.
that's
I have the worst luck or stuff like that. I have bad luck even during live sales. You were on that day. Remember the day that I wanted that one pin and I went first and then I guess they missed my comment and then everybody was like, it was Paula first. And then I would respond to what Amy was saying, but then it had, since it's delayed, it was like I was saying no, but I was like, forget it, guys. It was so bad. I was like, come on. So Natalie didn't buy anything. So you're ready for you could shop now.
Well, I'll tell you what I did come home with a small collection of, and I treasure it very much. Since this is my first Leakycon, I just got hip to the Leakycon ribbon culture.
Ah, yeah.
So I do have a small collection of ribbons. I don't think I have as many as I would have if I had stuck around longer during the day at Leakycon because I was in and out constantly to check on my dogs. And we only stood for Friday and Saturday. We didn't do Sunday. But the ribbons that I did get are just so cute. And I heard people talking about ribbons. I didn't really fully get what it was about. But now that I've been there, when I do my next Leakycon, I'm sure going to have some ribbons on hand to give out.
I had no idea ribbons were a thing, and because it was my first Leakycon, and then I just saw people with ribbons. I was like, "Ooh, I want some!" And then someone explained them to me, and I was like, "I don't have anything to give. Like, I don't have ribbons." And then they were like, "No, it's fine." Too.
I felt like, and then I needed to give something in return, and they're like, "No, you don't. We don't give to receive."
I gave pins.
Haley felt that way, and I had a stack of the Conquest Journals decal stickers. So I'm like, here, and she's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm not a sticker person. Like, go take them, please.
Yeah, Carla had the same thing. She had those stack of stickers, and she was just trading those for ribbons. And I got some of those. And then I was talking to Rita and Michelle from Gryffindor Common Room podcast, and we were talking about making some Spanishy, which is not a word, but Spanish-esque ribbons for next Leakycon.
It's a word now.
It's a word. Right. I have decreed it, so it is ordered. It's a word.
There you go.
Lawyer.
And, yeah. So that's kind of whenever my next Leaky is, because I realistically probably will not be going to Portland, is going to be something that's puff themed, Spanish, and lawyer themed, because that's me.
I like it.
So,
Spanishy.
It's gonna be Spanishy legally. And my hand.
Legally Spanish. Legally Spanishy.
I can be legally Spanishy instead of legally blonde.
There you go.
Nat,
legally Latina.
You're gonna attempt to go to Portland?
I know for a fact that I'm not gonna be able to do Portland. First off, they scheduled it early July, and I'm usually still teaching during that month, not in my regular school job, but in my summer music academy job that I have. So that's a commitment that's been longstanding for years. I love y'all, but I can't miss that for Leaky. And also
next year, Leakycon Portland is July 5th through 7th, and tickets should be going. Their pre-sale has already started for
today.
it.
Yeah.
And hotels are already available. So,
well, my other deterrent from going next year is that it's so far away. It's really not drivable for me because we did not fly. We drove with our 3 pups to this Leaky, which was, we love road tripping with them anyway, but there's no way we're going to get all the way across the United States to the opposite coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a drivable. It's not drivable.
And with it being 4th of July weekend, it's just so expensive.
It is.
You guys know I've been looking at flights and I'm like, I can't.
I booked the hotel just in case, but if I go, I can't go until I definitely wouldn't leave on the 4th. I'd probably leave the 5th.
The Friday, yeah.
Yeah. I can't leave on the 4th.
Yeah.
And then Lit Inc is the week after.
and Lit Inc. is the week after, and I want to go to Lit Inc. So
I did see that, and I have a timeshare, and I'm kind of tempted to see if it's available for that weekend.
Why not?
Tattoos.
Because then I'm sure I have plenty of roommates.
There's going to be pins there, Anna. There's going to be pins.
Don't tell me that. That I know, because I know they all go there.
They all are committed already for Lit Inc.
Yeah.
They may not be at Leaky, but they have all. It's not definitive, but most of them have already committed to Lit Inc.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm saying Tennessee, that's drivable. I'm just saying.
I've always wanted to visit Memphis. What part of Tennessee is it in?
Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Oh, how far is that from Memphis? I'm gonna have to check a map.
It's doable. It's not like
it's doable from Chicago. It's like an 8-hour drive.
It's 5 hours.
What about from Connecticut, though?
Yeah.
So what was your favorite? Let's start wrapping up. What was your favorite part of Leakycon? And what is something you would tell someone who has never been before that wants to go?
Go. That's my advice. Just go.
Well, I mean, my favorite part of Leakycon was the reason that I went to Leakycon was just to get to meet everybody and, make memories. And some of my favorite moments actually didn't happen in the convention. Like some of my favorite moments were from the day before Leakycon, where we went to Magic at Play as a group, when we went to, I went to go see my first baseball game ever in my life at Wrigley Field, of all places.
You didn't know it wasn't Quidditch, right?
I figured it out. It took me a minute. I think there's actually video evidence of several of us confused about which sport we were watching.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really think that my main takeaway was just getting to spend time with everybody in person finally, after interacting with everyone for so long online. And there was a second part to that question, right, Dani? Because I've already forgotten.
What would you tell someone that's never been?
Oh, I mean, if you haven't been to Leakycon before, and if you have any of the worries that I expressed earlier during the podcast about whether or not you would feel at home there, whether or not you would feel accepted there, don't even worry about it, because this community is genuinely one of the most accepting communities I've seen. And when in doubt, just hang out with Paula, because I know that I was stuck to Paula's hip for a lot of LeakyCon, just kind of floating around, because I knew that Paula was my safe person.
Listen, somebody messaged me afterwards and was like, I was scared to walk up to you. And I was like, what? I was like, please never feel like that. No way. And not only that, but I met people that weren't in the Pottergram, and now I'm talking with them, like the girl that writes the fanfics.
Yep. Oh, what's her name? She was at Bienvenidos a la Magia, right?
Yeah. Her name, I think her name is Amanda. Mandy. She goes by Mandy. Yeah, but she was there, and I've been talking to her through DMs or whatever, and she's so nice. And I didn't know her before. I met a lot of people that I didn't know before. I don't know everybody, I swear.
Well, I think the house meetups were nice too. I mean, we straddled between both, because my husband's a Hufflepuff and I'm a Ravenclaw. I remember at one point while we were in the puff, Paula turns around and looks at me like, you're at the wrong meetup.
I did.
You can't sit with us.
But honestly, if you guys visited the different meetups for the different houses, there was a totally different vibe in each place. And the setup was different. The Hufflepuffs, y'all were all facing forward, looking at the speaker at the front. When we went into the Ravenclaw meetup, they were having roundtable discussions. And I walked in and I'm like, oh, am I sure I'm a Ravenclaw? Because I don't know if I like this. But I sat for a little bit. I met some fellow Ravenclaws. I mean, it was pretty cool.
And then the Pottergram was like, just find this room and enter.
Yeah.
We were chaos.
The best chaos, though. The best.
We had the benefit that water dancing was in there beforehand, so all the tables and chairs were moved, so we just had this huge open space.
Yeah, that was awesome. How about you, Anna? Give it to us.
I forgot the first part of the question.
Bring all your money so you could buy all the pins.
That's my credit card.
Favorite part of Leakycon.
And what you would say to someone that was interested in going or scared of going?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just hasn't been yet, but would like to go.
Yeah.
Favorite part of Leakycon, I'm with Nat, was the people. I mean, the marketplace and all the like vendors, that was painful for my wallet, but brought me happiness. And the panels, I liked that there was a variety, but I definitely went for the people. And I was like that girl, like I told Tom, like, to me, you were like Paula, like
that's crazy to me. I don't understand. I don't think I've ever. First of all, I just want you to know I do not think of myself that way. And whenever somebody says it to me, first of all, it almost makes me want to cry because
is this really
I was so
excited? Cry?
I was so excited to meet Paula because everyone would talk about the hugs that she gives. And so I really wanted a Paula hug. And when I walked into Wrigley with Ash, she was the first person we saw. And we ran up to hug her. Although Ashley beat me, so I'm just kind of standing to the side waiting for her to let go of you. And then I got my Paula hug. But that was one of my favorites, just at Wrigley with all of you guys. And I loved it because it was a little piece of my city that you guys got to experience. And it wasn't like the touristy things, which are great, like the tower, like Sears Tower, the John Hancock, the boat tour, all of that. But it was just like a standard summer night in Chicago was a Cubs game. And they won, which I was so excited because I really was wanting you guys to stay to the end and then for it to win so you guys could hear the Cubs song. Because I love when they win, because I love the Cubs song and them raising the W flag. So that's definitely one of my favorite things. And then I think just having dinner with James Patton, Frank Longbottom, Peyton, having dinner with him, that was awesome, which wouldn't have happened if we didn't stay on site. And then getting to hang out with him after the Leakycon ball, that was also fun. So that's some of my favorite things. Everything was a favorite, which makes it hard, but the whole acceptance of it is a big thing. And in terms of someone that wants to go but isn't sure, like I said, when the question first posed, just do it, because that was one of my fears. I was lucky I had Ash with me, so worst case scenario, I only had her. Best case scenario, I had all of you guys. So it worked out. And then I do know I made a couple of friends that went by themselves. Like they weren't part of the community, any of the group chats. They just went by themselves. And I took a couple of them under my wing and I'm still talking to them.
You see, now you're Anna.
I know. It's one of those moments of like, they knew my handle.
Get them to create their own Pottergram account.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have them. And like, we're still talking and it's definitely a community that if you go by them yourself, like you will make friends.
Yeah.
Because I'm including myself, we are very welcoming and open community, and we can help you through your first Leakycon, because I think we're all very approachable, because now I can do it. And I like to find people that are by themselves and make sure they're having fun.
And the meetup is a great way to do that also. That's kind of why we did it. Because we're like, well, we all know each other. We're like, yeah, but this gives us a space. And for those people that were more nervous to meet people, that they could just go to this room where everyone was and not like get crazy overwhelmed about like meeting someone for the first time.
Yeah.
I love that we can have these types of conversations where we can put it out there too, that this is not some like exclusive cool kids club. You know, we're all, from what I've seen, everyone that I've interacted with at Leaky from the Pottergram and even prior to Leaky on the Pottergram is super approachable. And I mean, I know that there are people that I met that were not on the Pottergram at Leaky, and now they are. And I kept in touch with them, and I watched them create a Pottergram handle just for this purpose, you know. And they've asked while they were at Leaky, hey, what do I have to do to like get to know more people like this? I mean, this is my first convention, and really just reach out, just say hi. I think that most of my Instagram interactions are genuinely what brought me here. So it's a pretty warm community.
I mean, that's how I met all of you.
Yeah.
Everybody here, even Dani. On Instagram.
Yeah. Heart hands.
Yeah.
Do you guys do heart hands like this? Or the new generation like does them like this?
No, I cannot. My fingers don't do that.
Yeah.
You gotta go like this though, little heart fingers.
That's Gen Alpha. Or whatever the new isn't this like a Korean thing?
That's like the BTS. This is for Chanel and Griselda and Liz. Boom.
We're a podcast, no one can see what we're doing.
See, but when I do that, because of my profession, people think I'm just playing them a sad song on the world's smallest violin.
All right. And so people can join us on the Pottergram, let's go over all of our socials again.
Sure thing. I guess I'll start. My name's Nat. You can call me Natalie, Nat, Natalia, any variation. And my handle is Natalia's Charms on Instagram with 2 T's, not 1.
And I am Nat, and I'm not Nat. I'm Anna.
I've been cloned.
I was like, oh my God, you're Nat too? What? That's new.
I am not Nat. I am Anna, and I am at Latina Hufflepuff. That's it. Nice and easy.
All right. I am Paula. You can find me at Unconceivable on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch because I'm a gamer now. I'm also the co-host of this podcast.
You got it.
I got it.
You've been training her all Leakycon just for this moment.
At Creating Magic podcast. Dani.
And then I am Dani, and you can find me at Mandrakes and Mischief. And of course, as Paula said, where the podcast is. Also, for people who want a fun way to kickstart into the Pottergram or just continue to enjoy us, as of tomorrow, from the release of this, is Back to Hogwarts. So some of us will be in the park. So if you're there, let us know. But we are kicking off our Back to Hogwarts Magic Challenge Year 4. I can't believe we've been doing this for 4 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
So there is a prompt list on Paula, mine, and the podcast page where each day there is a theme. Don't feel like you have to do every day. If you want to do every day, go for it. But it is a fun way to get involved in the community and just finding more people.
Yep.
So follow along. And until next time, keep creating.
Idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled.